Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX setups for today. So a bit of political noise happening in Germany and France and Belgium, actually, and snap elections called in France, but a lot of political noise happening at the moment. So that's why we've sort of gapped to the downside at the moment. But when you look at this price action, it still looks like a flag or a channel, but you can see how we've crossed over the moving average. Oh, sorry, the oscillators have crossed over, so they've separated and crossed over. Nothing, there's no real bearish view, but just clean this up. I don't know why that keeps happening. So you can see on the daily here, we had tails to the upside, tails to the downside on the last two previous days. Big separation, which was looking like a flag break to the upside. And now we're sort of just meandering in no man's land. So I don't think there's much that we need to concern ourselves with for a move to the upside at the moment. I think the flag is probably fizzling out as we kind of just hover around this 18,528 area. Now, when we drill down through the time frames, you can see the chaos a lot clearer. So you can see what's happened last week, above and below the moving averages. We didn't really trade last week because of the chaos. And at the moment, you've got a moving average crossover. You can see all three moving averages crossed over going into the close. We've got a bit of a gap here. So that's kind of a weekly gap at the moment. But what I want us to focus on is those two levels there, and I'll get them to you now on the lower time frames, but you can see where I'm picking them up. There's a big pin bar here, there's a swing high, and there's a gap. And if you go left, you'll see there was a bit of interaction in that area as well. So nothing really else we can read into what we see here. And then you can see we had a move down before non-farm payrolls. Non-farm payrolls then pushed us up and then started sliding again. So I suspect the political noise was already in play here, and then continued. Now it's continued over the weekend, but big crossover here on the hour. So from an hour perspective, is a very strong possibility that we have a downtrend forming. So oscillator is not giving us any indication of what we need to do at the moment. So just get down to 15 minutes, probably going to be wiser to pay very close attention here. Now look where we gapped down to this morning. So that was the opening gap. 58 points, 0.3% the market. Not massive, but nevertheless, that is a massive gap down and then a massive gap up. So that is just pure confusion. Pay attention to your oscillators now in the 15 minute. They're starting to ease up. So for me, okay, the trend line broke here, but it is after hours. So I would be watching 18,546 and 18,518. I want to see price either reject that or break below it, close this gap, come back and then reject this 18,518. That would give me an opportunity for a short. Now I'm really not keen on longs at the moment, not with the noise I'm hearing and not with the charts looking like they are. So a complete crossover on the hour with a rejection, and we're now sort of below the moving averages. That is kind of what I'd be paying attention to. But what you do need to pay attention to as well is the fact that you have a lot of structure to the downside, and you'd obviously need to clear all of that. I'm just going to go back to the 8 hour here so you can see it a bit clearer. So essentially it is looking like a big range. So every time we come down into 18,443, 18,427 and 18,390, the buyers step in to push price back up. So be very careful of that. And on the 8th hour, until we've broken through the 150 EMA, the trend is kind of sideways right now, because we have got to cross over the faster moving averages and we're in between them. So 8th hour is basically indicating range. 3 hour is indicating potential trend reversal, but you also need to just keep in mind that we were above and below those moving averages all week last week, so there's no reason to believe that that can't continue. So the structure that you see to the downside here between 18,443 and 18,390, that would need to give away before you can commit to a longer term trend. So that's your 3 hour and 8 hour view, which basically telling you be very careful, don't just assume. And then from an hour perspective, you do have a crossover here. So if you do reject these two levels, 18,546, 18,518, you've got the opportunity to the downside. Very small moves, 69 points, 90 points, 120 points. So it's a very, very weak setup, but that's probably the best setup that I can see at the moment. Any move to the upside, I think I'll take with a pinch of salt. I'm not so convinced on that at the moment. Okay, so I anticipate another visit to the bottom end of this bigger range, and if there is the political noise that we're hearing whispers of in the market, you're probably going to see us crash through this zone this week. So be very careful about what your position is at the moment. Anyway, I will be sitting on the sides until I see something clear. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.